Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. See, I got something on my mind tonight, man. And you know who I am. I'm the 5-star general. Another officer lost his life down here in Houston. And it doesn't have to happen. And the good doctor, Matthews, is at it again. Let's go, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you good people, we would not have a show. So I want to always tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in to this show. Today was a day where I had to take a deep breath. I realistically had to take a deep breath because an officer lost his life today. 2 officers were shot, matter of fact, and one officer lost his life in Northeast. And the officer that passed away was Officer William Bill Jeffrey, a 30-year veteran of the Houston Police Department, 30-year veteran. His wife had just retired, and also another officer that was shot was Sergeant Michael Vance. He's 49 years old. He's in stable condition right now. And Officer Vance joined HPD in June of 1998 and has been in the Major Offenders Division for the past 2 years. Officer William Bill Jeffrey lost his life. And now the mayor and Chief Fenner, you know, they got to do the customary stuff, which is stand in front of the cameras and make excuses as to why this happened. And I say make excuses because a lot of this stuff can be dealt with and it doesn't need to happen. This is not a I told you so moment. This is a what are you going to do about it Negro moment. What I mean by that is I could sit here and belabor the point that we had a 21-page plan and we knew how to deal with violence. I'm not going to belabor the point. But the chickens are coming home to roost every day in the city of Houston and Harris County as it pertains to violence. It's coming home to roost. The chickens are coming home to roost every day. It is hard enough to even stop and put gas in your car without having your strap on your side. And my question is why won't these people do something about it? Okay, you put millions and millions of dollars into the police budget, additionally, on top of what you had, and yet the violence still continues. You want to say, well, we're short of officers. It doesn't matter how many officers you have. Because if you don't deal with these issues proactively, the violence is going to keep occurring. I keep saying that. We keep preaching the same sermon. And God has a way of sending us where we need to go. We've been doing community roundtables to educate the community on the violence and what we can do to stop it and, contribute to stopping it. That's the way I want to put that. And it's kind of ironic that this happened in Northeast Houston, because guess where our next roundtable discussion is? Northeast Houston this Saturday. And an officer lost his life in Northeast Houston today. The crime rate in Northeast Houston is 222% higher than the city average. I'm wondering, how does that happen? How does that happen? Well, it happens for a variety of reasons. It happens for lack of financial opportunity. It happens when the school system is all messed up and jacked up. Because I want somebody to provide the data that all these people that's getting caught up with these murders and all this, let's look at their educational background. Let's see how good of a student they were. Did they graduate? Did they go to the next level of education? Did they even try to get a certificate? When your educational component is messed up, your crime rate is going to keep going up. What are some problems with all of this that's making this happen? Well, two of the main problems, and we have to accept the fact because they don't know what they're doing, is Precinct 1 County Commissioner Rodney Ellis. He's a problem. Your bail reform, initiatives have failed. Once again, somebody out on bail has murdered somebody, and this time it happens to be a police officer. And the other person is the mayor of Houston, who has poured millions of dollars into the police department, as well into his friend's pocket, that's supposed to be able to do the job that a qualified team of experts in this field with violence is actually able to do. Yeah, you have other issues like judges. And if you understand the Constitution of the United States, these judges are basically forced by the Constitution to give bonds. Now, based on their prior criminal history, they can jack them bonds up. But when you go back and you do the research and you look at what Ellis wanted done, they're playing the game the way that Ellis told them to play it. Letting these people out on these low bonds. And okay, we get it with misdemeanors, non-felony offenses. We could understand that. If you got parking tickets, man, he don't need to be locked up. But if you done been out there and committed an aggravated robbery, your bond should be as high as a giraffe. If you can deny him a bond at that point, that should be done if he has multiple offenses and multiple bonds. These are the people that are to blame for this. You stole our plan, and you've yet to institute the plan, but I bet your friend got the money. And people are being murdered at a very, very alarming rate. You guys should be up in arms right now. You should be up in arms with what's going on in this city, in this county, because this is not a safe place to live right now. It is not a safe place to live. And every time you look up, these people are in front of a camera apologizing to a family with the same old rhetoric. But in all actuality, you could actually do something to move the needle and possibly set up a blueprint how to deal with crime for all over the country. But yet you refuse to do that. So another officer has lost his life because of the games y'all are playing. We've got to stop playing politics and start playing real life. I'm sorry. That's just the way that I feel. And I'm not going to change how I feel about that. I'm not going to change how I feel. So if you're looking at somebody to really just give them the business on this, Precinct 1 County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, County Commissioner Adrian what's Gonzalez? Is his last name Gonzalez? Adrian Gonzalez, County Commissioner, and your county judge Lena Hidalgo. These three stooges have made Harris County one of the most unsafe places to live in the whole country because they're playing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Ellis, you're better at playing the stock market. Okay, Adrian Garcia, I'm sorry, that's his name. I knew it was a G. You see how much I don't even keep his name in my mouth. You're better, Commissioner Ellis, at playing the stock market than being a county judge. You got downtown all tore up with your bike lanes, your construction for your bike lane. How long it take to put some paint on the ground to make a bike lane? But it's your friends that get to make the money on all this. But when it comes to crime, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Turner's lame duck at this point, so he can't run for mayor anymore. You're going to hear the world screaming, and black people This is when I'm going to need you to shut your mouth. They're going to be screaming, we need somebody tough on crime. We need a white person in there tough on crime. You cannot argue the point right now. I'm sorry. Because now they got the stats to prove it. I don't give a damn what color they are. But we need somebody that knows what they're doing, because Ellis, Turner, Adrian Garcia, Lena Hidalgo do not have a clue on how to run this city and county as it pertains to violence. Mr. Mayor, how good you feeling right now, homie? 21 pages. $900,000 a year that would go directly into the program. Remember, you bought art for the airport. You remember that? Instead of investing in something that could stop violence, you invested in pictures that go on the wall in the airport. You remember that? And then Ellis, you're not off the hook. You stole our plan. And now you got a whole NASCAR over there. But you ain't got nobody to drive it. How does that feel? What are you going to keep telling these families? You know, how does that feel? I'm really not understanding it. I'm looking at some of y'all comments, and Janelle Dawn, sad news. I mean, it's always sad news. Abrevia Miller, every time you look up, a body being found in a ditch. 2 bodies have been found in a week in a part of Braves Bayou. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's business as usual for these people, and we have to live in this war zone. I'm not campaigning tonight, but I got to give you the truth and the facts. I was talking to my good friend, Dr. Muhammad, today, and he agreed that Chicago went to hell when the school system imploded. Let me tell you what's going on right now. You got school board elections, and I don't care where you live in the city. If you can vote in the school board election, you need to vote. I don't care who you vote for, but you need to vote. But here's the problem. You have people sitting on the school board that don't know what they're doing. So your educational component is screwed all the way up. Mental health is a serious issue. And a lot of our kids have mental health challenges in school. Yet they're not getting the resources that they need to help them. So they're out in the streets, they roaming around, some of them graduating and they're going into the streets, and they're not prepared for this. When your educational component is messed up, your crime rate is going to keep going up. And we have a high population of kids that have mental health issues. So what do you think's going to happen? Okay, we also have gang issues in our schools. We want to act like we don't. You're a lie. You have a serious gang problem in HISD, and we know it. We know it. Those of us that won't admit it, we know it. Okay, so now you got a gang problem. So you got mental health issues, you got gang issues, you got uneducated kids, and you got a whole world we finna throw them in and tell them to survive. How that work? Because guess what? They've got to survive, and they're going to do it by any means necessary. If you close low-performing schools in Black and brown communities, you're going to push kids to the streets. If you keep on with your mass mandates, you're gonna push kids to the streets. See, we don't have people that are critical thinkers. We don't have people running these organizations or sitting in these top seats that are critical thinkers, because they don't live in the communities that are affected the most. We don't have people that are critical thinkers at all. The worst thing that has ever happened to Houston and Harris County, and I don't care if you like them, you just need to sit there and eat this soup, is Rodney Ellis and Sylvester Turner. The same thing, one of the worst things that have happened in a long time to the United States of America, is Joe Biden. Look at what he's doing. Look at how he's doing it. Don't debate me. Don't debate me, because you're going to lose that debate. You're going to lose that debate. I can tell you, I can say a bunch of stuff about Biden right now. But you get what you pay for. You wanted him, now you get what you pay for. And that's how it goes. But officers don't need to be losing their lives. Regular citizens don't need to be losing their lives. The streets don't need to be as dangerous as they are. If people would get outside of their comfort zone or get their panties out of a bunch because you've been checked on these issues, and realistically go get the experts that know how to deal with it. This just threw me off today. I mean, when I say I was thrown off, I was thrown completely off to the point I didn't want to do nothing when I heard that both of them officers got shot. I'm just thrown off. I mean, because you people that sit in positions of power that are under the mayor, when are you going to open your mouth and say enough is enough? When are you going to put the people before the position? When are you going to put the people before the position? I'm trying to understand that. I'm really, really trying to understand that, because I don't get it where we can't seem to clearly understand what needs to be done. You know, I put a post up the other day and it says the only weapon capable of transforming the world is education. The only weapon capable of transforming the world is education. But yet our educational component is messed up. It's messed up. I'm looking at some of y'all that's running for office, and I'm like, you make my stomach bubble. You don't care about people, man. You're not qualified for the positions. You want to sit on the school board. You're not qualified, brother. But you will do it because somebody told you to do it. You'll do it because they put a key in your back or chunk you a little money, man. How much it cost to buy you? How much did it cost to buy you to keep the educational component messed up so that they can keep experimenting on our children with these failed programs, but then turn them out to the streets? And then they have some days no choice but to survive. How does it feel when you do that? How do you sleep at night? Some of you incumbent board members who don't give a damn about children. How do you sleep at night knowing that you're destroying not a race of children anymore? You're destroying all of them. You're not pumping lawyers and doctors out of these schools. You pumping fentanyl drug addicts, strippers, people that end up in sex trades and get sex trafficked. You're pushing them to that level. Yet you can sleep good at night because your bank account sits at a certain level and you're comfortable with that. How do you do it? How do you do it? I'm trying to understand that. How do you do it? How do you sleep at night knowing what you're doing? I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna answer some of these questions. So I'm gonna read some of these comments. So let me start with Armand Clements. I'm so tired of these liberals. Don't get me started on the double standard at the board in regarding black folks. I ain't even gonna speak on it. I ain't gotta say nothing about what's going on at the border. You can see it for yourself. You tell me. Depending on, let's just be real with it. Look, if I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna have to be 100 with you. Immigrants that are not black, let's get that straight. They don't have a problem letting them into the United States of America because they're trying to replace certain ethnicities. You know, the white population is slowly dwindling. The black population, they don't really need you no more. So they're going to make you irrelevant by allowing people to come here and giving them the right to vote so that they can take over what they need to take over. See, I said that in a very nice manner, right? Something simple for you to understand. But when Dan Patrick said it, the whole world was alarmed. No, it's not stupid what he said. He could have worded it a different way. But what he said is what I see. You're trying to replace certain ethnicity votes. This is why they're sending home the Haitians. You're sending them home. You won't give them asylum. That's Armand Clements. Brenda, Limbrick Sanders, we're losing our children to death. School shootings and more. Pandemic, mental health, education, gangs, domestic violence, and violence. You're definitely on the money with that one. Fayville Bowie. Gary, how do mask mandates hurt students? And wouldn't any president we have now fail due to all the problems caused by the pandemic? Not according to Joe when he ran. He said he wasn't going to fail. He said he had bona fide solutions to deal with the pandemic. He was going to make things better. The only thing I can hold him to is his word. That was him opening his mouth, letting his mouth write checks that his behind couldn't cash. That was Joe did that. How does mass mandates hurt children? You don't look, I don't care how people get it. You got people on both sides of the aisles on them. Some of y'all want mandates, some of y'all don't. So the ones of y'all that want it, okay, if you're going to put out a mass mandate, guarantee us not to die. If I got to be that uncomfortable, I shouldn't have to die then. Kids shouldn't be dying if the masses work. But the bottom line is you have a choice. We don't live in Afghanistan. I'm sorry. We don't live in Russia. We don't live in dictatorship Cuba back in the day. We don't live in this. We live in a democracy where you have a choice. And just because something happens, you don't get the right to take those choices away. I'm sorry, but you don't get to do that. That's my answer. You know, no, I'm very passionate, y'all. All right. Fayville said Gary is telling the truth about failed schools. I want to return to teaching special students. So bad, but the schools are having too many COVID cases. I applaud you because you're one of those tenured teachers that I love that were in the classroom forever, and you should have stayed in the classroom. You shouldn't have came out. But I can understand your reservations for not going back in. But I mean, come on, man. You know, everybody want to be on people because they say they don't want their kid wearing a mask. But you telling me all them people at them football games got masks on? I'm looking at college football, and there's a party going on up in them. But anything that generates a lot of money, they don't care. See, they need the kids. Let's just get this straight, man. They need the kids in the classrooms because they make money off them. We've been dealing with a pandemic called school violence for the last 30 years. All across the country. Why ain't nobody gave a damn about them kids then? Kids have been getting bullied and beat up, killing themselves, getting off the school bus, hanging themselves, and these people don't give a damn. But now all of a sudden the pandemic, we love them so much. And now we want them to be in the schoolhouses. You know, and the only thing I'm gonna ask is a simple question. I know you gotta have the kids wear the mask, and most kids won't have a mask. They'll come to school and you'll give them a mask. Who got the contract for the mask? Who making the money off the mask? Why don't we just make this a line item where you buy the mask from a company that you have no affiliations with, that is not a vendor to you, and then you just issue them out to the kids in the school? You're not going to do that because you have to buy the mask from your friends. I know the game. Let me tell you something, man. I'm running campaign right now, and people that are running, we're talking and we're forging friendships and relationships, and these people are like, man, you know this like the back of your hand. I'm not the average candidate. I don't wake up in the morning wanting to work in a restaurant. I don't wake up in the mornings having to punch a clock at the local manufacturer. I wake up in the morning and I'm an education advocate. So when it comes to education, you're going to have to get up early in the morning to run game on me. Who got the contracts for the mass? And if I'm wrong, how much grant money floating around right now for outreach for the COVID? You just seen a woman losing an $11 million contract because the county judge was a friend and it came under scrutiny. We don't need anybody out here educating us on the pandemic and using our tax money to pay for this education that we already know. The tune of 11 million. Shakira Dennis, next wave strategies or whatever they call, you done got 350,000 out of Fort Bend with that foolishness. I don't need to know about the pandemic. What you need to be doing is coming up with a cure for this pandemic. Can you do that in the city that got the best medical center in the world? Can y'all find a cure for something? I tell you what, you found a cure for generational wealth. For your family. It's called our tax money. See, y'all got to get out that box, man. You got to start asking the tough questions. And if you lose a friend as a politician, they wasn't your friend to begin with. How much money floating around here? That's why these people still giving out sanitizer and water. Because there's money attached to it. But all this is going on, and ain't nobody dealing with the crime. One, I'm going to take a moment of silence for both those officers, the one that's still in critical condition and the one that lost his life. Because it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. I'm sorry, but I'm just telling you the truth. It does not have to happen. You know, my friend Becky Valadez lives Southeast Houston. Man, y'all think this a game walking around the hood on a daily? You think this a game trying to go to the store? Man, these folk robbing folks going to church now. But I told them that was going to happen. I told them that 3-4 years ago. 3-4 years ago. I think that you need to start emailing your local politicians, blowing up their email. I'm going to challenge y'all. No matter where you live, what city you live in, you got the same issues, just in different cities, different counties, different states. Start complaining through your emails. Send 5 emails a day. You can do that. That's easy. Send 5 emails a day complaining that they need to do something. And then you too will find out that they don't give a damn about nothing you saying when you send them, because they ain't going to answer them. They ain't going to answer. Somebody told me the other day that city councilwoman Sally Alcorn was lurking on the south side. For what? It's getting close to 22. Lady, we ain't seen you since you got them votes out of our community. Where you been? Where have you, ma'am? Where have you been? Stop voting for these people that are getting in office and don't do nothing. And now that takes me to part 2. let's switch gears, but keep it right in line with what I'm saying. I saw a video of the good doctor, Candace Matthews, speaking at a press conference about accountability in regards to State Rep Briscoe King and how he's attacking our democracy. Hold on, little mama. I don't need you speaking for me at all. Accountability? Hold on a second, man. Ma'am, accountability? What did I tell y'all a few weeks back about allowing these people to be comfortable sitting out here trying to represent us? The Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, which is nothing more than a pyramid scheme to get money out of politicians. These people are walking around like they have not violated state and federal law. And just because we haven't said anything, you think we forgot, huh? Ma'am, let me tell you something. I heard what you said, how you gonna kick Briscoe dough in and the coalition issuing out knuckle sandwiches. I need you to take some advice. I need for you to sit down somewhere real fast, because in all actuality, you should not be the person screaming accountability. And all of y'all that's in the circle, I'm looking at y'all. Some of y'all I'm cool with. I ain't mess with you no more. Why is it that we can't clearly understand that somebody has a key in this girl's back? They have a key in her back. She's the crash dummy. You gonna stand in front of this camera and you gonna flex your ma'am, without going into detail. Ma'am, you got a court case coming up. I would recommend you focused on that. Ma'am, I recommend that you focus on that. And by the way, y'all out there that think, oh, I can just go sue Gary Monroe. We waiting. We've been waiting for months. I'm in the United. And see, this is the thing. You can't take my rights away. See, because one of the rights I have is freedom of speech. So if you want to sue me for what I'm saying right now, give it a shot. I will bankrupt you. I will bankrupt you. That is one of my liberties, freedom of speech, and you're not going to take it from me. But ma'am, I would rather you focus on the obvious, because you got some issues. You got some serious issues. And you notice the look on my face. Say, man, here's the thing. And I know they like to get videos to people when I speak. Let me tell you a secret. I call these victory cigarettes. If you don't get your focus where it needs to be, then you're gonna not do so well in court, I think. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm a betting man, I'll let you bet a quarter against $5,000 of my money that you lose your case so bad it's gonna shock the world. All you gotta do is put up a quarter. I put up 5 G's. You're gonna. So your ideologies of standing around and holding people accountable. You're mad about the voter integrity laws. What you should be mad at is the fact that they didn't cut a deal. They cut a deal on the gun laws. See, y'all are just, let me tell you what these people are doing. And we've been telling you for the longest. When we first started, and even with Demetri and Donovan, and they still preach it on their show. Say, man, open your eyes, man. These people know they can't get some of these bills passed. But they gonna make you think these people is the devil. But they know they can't get them passed. They just out there doing it. So when it's election time, they can remind you that I tried. This ain't the ghetto boys. I don't want to hear about you trying. I tried. When you knew the whole time you couldn't get it done. And now you put this key in this lady's back who continuously gets out of the place of a lady. You're going to tell a state rep that you're going to kick his door in? Tell that to me. And you know what I'm going to be singing? When it get gangsta. Tell that to me. When it get gangsta. Let me hit it one more time for you. When it get gangsta. Stay in your place. The Rainbow Push Coalition, we are the whatever, the caretakers of democracy. Say, man, why don't you go get Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, you, Darnella Wilkerson, Carole Robinson, Terrence Skanks, and all of y'all. Go sit your black behinds down somewhere. Because ain't none of y'all doing nothing for black people in the state of Texas. None of y'all. All you're doing is scheming with them fraudulent PACs. You notice, I keep trying to tell you, man, this how I'm built. I try to give you a warning. See, I'm the weatherman when it comes to this. I give you a warning. There's a storm out there, and it's coming straight to you. I'm steady giving you a warning, and you steadily doing what you supposed to be doing according to what you doing. Hold on a second, man. When that storm gets this close, it's gonna be too late for you to make adjustments. It's gonna be too late for you to do anything. And then you are going to end up in the state or the federal penitentiary. And I'm going to be laughing. Now that will be an I told you moment. That will be I told you moment. Because I'm giving you fair warning. The Texas Coalition of Black Democrats is a fraudulent PAC with several fraudulent PACs. And you politicians that seem to not understand that, keep giving them your money. Why all the PACs, all these different PACs, and all the addresses are tied to Antron Johnson? All y'all money going to one man. But the problem that I have with the coalition and these people is you keep putting a rodeo clown out in public in front of cameras like they represent the good of black people. I have a problem with the state of Texas, the city of Houston, and Harris County when it comes to permitting. You people need to make sure that rodeo clowns have permits to speak in front of cameras for us before they go out there and do it. Can you create a permit for that? Can you create, baby, you don't speak for Black America. You're not the Stacey Abrams of Houston and Harris County. I'm sorry, but it ain't you. It ain't you. And I'm for one that's not going to be quiet about anybody representing me as a Black man. Now, we all got issues somewhere down the line, but sweetheart, you got too many. You got, oh no, you got too many. Put your focus where it needs to be. Put your focus where it needs to be. Now, what I want to do is I want to look inside my crystal ball. What do you see, Mr. Monroe, inside your crystal ball? I see some handcuffs. I see some folk going to jail. And you can bet the house on it. You can bet the house on it. So those of y'all that are out there, you hard-working politicians that work separate jobs besides being politicians, if you want to give your money to the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, then do it. White politicians, they think y'all suckers anyway. They're going to get your money. These people don't do nothing for you. They don't have a pulse of our community. They don't have a pulse of how you represent us and you illegal at the same time in public eye. How you represent us and you illegal at the same time in public eye. And you out here showing your public hairs. You out here showing your public hairs. And you represent us. And then people complain about the way that I talk. Well, I'm not fraudulent. I'm not illegal. And that's what it is. Let's see if we got some comments. We got some. Fayville Vuic said, I retired because I was tired of school politics and how the kids were treated and made me physically sick to fight every day. Now I'm ready to return because I'm inspired by you. Oh, thank you. I do not have to worry about my pay. So I will fight for the kids and good teachers without fear. Brenda Limbrick says, I agree. Come up with a cure for the pandemic. Teaching in the schools it's an awful situation in the schools. Teachers are working hard, no doubt. No doubt that they're working hard. Sharon Thomas say the world is changing from the ground up, but changing for the good or the bad of it. Alan Guillory says our crime has spiked in Houston since the arrival of New Orleans folks. I mean, when I said it, when Katrina first happened, they wanted to kick me out of Little League. Well, the reason I said it because I used to go to New Orleans all the time. I knew the type of people that lived there. Not all people were bad people from New Orleans, but I knew the ones that was calling me, talking about they coming to Houston. Oh, we finna have a problem down here. So maybe your stats and your data is correct, Alan. Penelope Penstop said she is a clown with that wig and makeup. And Sharon Thomas says they don't speak for us. Exactly. Say, you can have a press conference, but can you put another speaker out there? Because this one here, no. No. Not this one. Not this one. Because I got a strange feeling. You know, I always tell people, you know, when I ride around, man, somebody gonna, I mean, I done rode in everything you could think of. I done had 65 cars. So I done drove everything you could think of in my lifetime. And people are like, back in the day, man, you ain't scared of riding around with them big wheels. And I always tell people, if you try something with me, just know your plan ain't gonna go like you think. It ain't gonna go like you think. Focus on what you need to focus on. Because I got a strange feeling. It ain't finna go like you think, good doctor. It ain't finna go like you think. And I just have a problem with you wanting to hold Briscoe Kane accountable. I'm not defending the white politician. I'm defending the fact you've not held yourself accountable. Your organization has not held you accountable. So you don't have the right or the decency to be trying to hold anybody accountable for anything. Nothing. Nothing. I'm just being 100. So, the courthouse downtown, file suit on me and see if I don't bankrupt you. I'm just letting you know. Some things you're going to have to understand, especially when you're a public figure. You get to be criticized. And some of y'all don't like y'all don't like to be criticized, especially in public. I get criticized all the time. All the time. I get criticized all the time. But you know what? As long as I know I'm on the right side of what the issue is, I'm comfortable. I can sleep at night. I can sleep at night. So I came to you today. We lost a good officer today, and another one got shot. I know a lot of these HPD police officers because I created the program to bridge the gap with kids in schools, and I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of those good police officers. And he didn't have to lose his life today, and we need to pray for his family. And I'm very sincere about that. We need to pray for his family and pray for the officer that's in the hospital in critical condition. But good doctor, you need to slow down. You don't need to be representing people like the Rainbow Push Coalition. What the hell Jesse Jackson did for us? We round here then put a saddle on Jesse's back, and we supposed to ride Jesse Jackson into the sunset. And he ain't did nothing for black people in the last 40 years. Negro, please. I don't think so. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So, I'm back out tomorrow on the campaign trail, y'all. I'll probably do a virtual fundraiser next Monday. We're going to do a virtual fundraiser. But I got some fun I'm about to do because we got about 5 more weeks left before actual election day. I'm coming to a neighborhood near you. I'm coming to a neighborhood with donuts and coffee. I'm coming to some neighborhoods with hot dogs. I'm coming to some neighborhoods with snow cones. I need you to register to vote, and then you get a chance to hang out with your boy, get your yard signed, and we could talk education. I'm coming to a neighborhood, so look for the flyers on Facebook, and we're going to do what we need to do. And on election night, let's go on and end this foolishness. Let's go on and end this foolishness because I already got my press conference attire ready for after I win. A cowboy hat. A cowboy hat. A cowboy shirt. Some cowboy boots. And a badge. Because HISD is a new sheriff coming to town. And contrary to popular opinion, I make things happen. So if you ain't about working with kids, if you ain't about doing what's best for teachers, if you ain't about uplifting our bus drivers and our support services people, our paraprofessionals, our administrators on our campuses, you are my enemy. Because it's time out for politics in schools. It's time out for the foolishness that come with it. And it's time we get it in order. And that's what it boils down to. You feel me? So this weekend, no doubt, going to Pastor Terrence Hall's church, a community roundtable in regards to violence. We're going to Northeast Houston, the same place where that officer lost his life today. Say it's a reason why I'm the best in the business, man. Forgive me. I've been out of pocket because I've been out campaigning. We got a race to win. But I want to thank y'all for taking the time out to hang out with your boy. You know who I am. I am the 5-star general. Until the next show. And my lawyer's on standby. Do something about these rodeo clowns that's doing these press conferences. Until then, I'll holler at you.